In Dubai, it cost around $120,000 to get the surrogacy done, which I thought it was such a great deal. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. ということで今日は親友ちゃんのアマンダとこれからランチに行きます。で、ドバイの最近の天気、もう毎日23度ぐらいですごい過ごしやすくて本当に。だから結構外とかでランチとかディナーとかする人がめっちゃ多いです。で、親友のアマンダちゃんについてお話をすると、彼女はカナダ出身の女の子でクリプトのイベントで会いました。お互い暗号資産とかに携わっていて、彼女自身すごい頭いいし、かつ暗号資産のプロジェクト何個も手掛けてるので、そこで結構意気投合して、ここ数年はすごく仲良く一緒に遊んでます。で、今日は彼女とランチしながらドバイ女子についての話、キャリアもそうだし、ビジネスもそうだし、恋愛もそうだし、彼女はすごい海外のビリオネアっていう風に言われるその富裕層の人たちとすごいいいコネクションを持っているので、なので彼女からもそういったインサイトとか秘密とかいろいろお話できたらなと思います。じゃあ Let's go! Hi Amanda!Okay, so I'm here with my bestie Amanda. Do you want to give a self-introduction?
Hi, I'm Amanda from Canada. I've lived in Dubai forever, for a whole decade, and I work on crypto projects here in the region.
So today, while our lunch, we had a discussion about surrogacy, which is such a normal thing in Dubai, especially among I think wealthy people. It's everybody has it. Paris Hilton did it. Kim Kardashian did it, and who else? Even your friends, people around us, somebody's friends has done it, right?
Yeah, many people have it, and it's a much better solution that not a lot of people are talking about, but they should, because then you can hear more about the success rates. A lot of people say they don't want to do surrogacy because they're oh, I don't know anyone else who's done it. It's people should maybe be more vocal that they want it, that they're interested in it.
No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel it's a sensitive topic, especially regarding to surrogacy or even IVF. But what I realized these days is for example, I go to a crypto project dinner and so on, and then people actually actively start to say they're getting IVF, and that was the time I realized, wow, it's getting so normal. And it's actually good to know that, because I feel having this knowledge is really important, because what if when you are ready to have kids and then you're surprised with it and you're shit, I need to go through this and that. So honestly, I think it's a topic that we need to prepare ourselves in advance.
Yeah, a lot more girls in Dubai are getting more into it, because I say Dubai is a very image conscious place, and women's bodies go through a huge physical transformation in that amount of time. But I mean, we outsource so many things. Most people don't clean their own houses. They don't do their own laundry. So, I mean, it just seems natural that with all of the innovation and medical advancements, that birth would be something that's outsourced as well. You don't have to go through that pain.
Yeah.
You get to preserve your stomach. There's so many different benefits. You don't get any of the postpartum symptoms.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
good.
benefits of surrogacy are so much more numerous, but it still seems to be a little bit of a taboo topic, and some
Yeah.
people are very, very against it, and they have a lot of different opinions.
But personally, I did some research about it, and I realized that in Dubai, it cost around $120,000 to get the surrogacy done, which I thought it was such a great deal, because anybody, let's say, if they make even $100,000 per year, right? I feel they should go for it, because logically it makes sense. 10 months of pregnancy plus 10 months of postpartum recovery and so on. Let's say that's around 2 years. And if you make $100,000 per year, that's $200,000 of time of a year, 2 years that you're pretty much going to suffer. And I feel like it's really logically, it makes sense. And it's like with $120,000 to buy 2 years of your health, that's like such a good steal. And in the end of the day, I feel like it's just like a half of a car, like 50% of the car.
Yeah, it's super important, I think, for girls to work on their financial freedom and pursue different projects in crypto and learn more about crypto and different financial options for investing so that you have your own money to make your own choice.
Yeah.
It's your body, it's your money, so then you can end up choosing what works best for you and your partner, but doing it the old traditional way is definitely not the best way anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I will ever do surrogacy or not do surrogacy. I mean, at this point of my life, I don't even know if I will have a kids or not, because right now, like, it's not the timing for me. But like, I just want to have this choice of being able to be like, let's say in a few years, let's say if I do want to have kids and if I do want to go with the surrogacy, then I'll be like, you know, telling my husband like, hey, number one, it's my body. Number two, I'll just pay for it. And then to be honest, I don't think he will be like, no, I don't accept. Like, I think he will be like really like, okay, it's your body, it's your money, I respect that. So I think it's really important for women to have this choice, because in the end of the day, it is your own body, and we only get one body in this life. Like, imagine, like, you know, like, I mean, obviously we don't know what's gonna happen until like we experience it, but I just think in the end of the day, with the $120,000 to have this everything covered, you're gonna have like no hormone ups and downs. It's just such a great deal.
It's true, neither of us have children.
That's why we're making comments like this.
But as every girl knows in her life, you start to think about children, and at some point you think about how many you want to have, and you know, where you want to have them, if you want to go back to your home country and do it near your family, or if you want to stay where you're living. So you start to consider all the different options, and both Amy and I have been learning and hearing more about surrogacy from different people, and it seems a much better way forward. You get to preserve your stomach.
Yeah, true. Especially I mean, you know what? We're making this kind of comment because none of us are the children. So I feel like the mother who's watching is like, what are they talking about? But no, actually, that's not true.
It could resonate with them, because they could say like, yeah, this was awful. It was a difficult process for me. I don't recognize my body anymore. So I wish that I had like looked into that more.
Actually, it's true, because I made the reels about it on Instagram, and then I see some mother was like saying that like, I wish I had that option. And then somebody also commented saying that like, I wish people are more open about this and be transparent about it, because they want to, you know this, like they want to have the knowledge in advance before they actually going through it. Yeah.
And it's something that a lot of like the wealthy elites from around the world are all pursuing as well. In the news, they're talking about a lot of Chinese billionaires who have hired surrogates in the US, because the US so far, that's where a lot of people are going. So it's interesting to see what people are choosing, that a lot of the men in China were just like, we want our wives to still look great, be happy, be fulfilled, keep doing whatever they want to do. And yeah, so they went with that option.
And in Dubai, like, you know, the other day I was at the gym, and I was talking about this with the girl, and she was like, her friend just had it recently, and they were super happy about it and so on. So what I think is that now that we live in 2026, we have this technology to actually to be able to utilize this. It's like, let's say 200 years ago, like women wanted to do this, but they couldn't, simply because they didn't have this technology. So for me, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because now we get to actually enjoy this. So it's like, why not? Like, we have an option. You can choose to do it or not to do it.
Yeah, you get to preserve your health, you get to preserve your image.
And it probably is good for the relationship also. Yeah, we're honestly just talking about our honest opinion, but yeah, I think we're really like open about it. And honestly, like, I think a lot of people are also thinking about this also.
What do you think about surrogacy? Tell us in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
So, have you heard in the news that the Chinese billionaire Zhu Bo has over 100 kids in the US via surrogacy? What do you think of this?
I don't know. I heard it for the first time. I didn't know. I don't know why, but Amanda's very knowledgeable about like really random stuff.
I mean, read the news. It's good to read the news.
Yeah.
And be, like, updated on different topics and stuff like that. You never know who you're going to meet, and you need to know what's going on with current events in the world.
Yeah, true.
For example, there's a lot of girls that you meet, they all say, like, oh, I want to meet a billionaire, I want to date a billionaire. It's very specific to billionaire, not millionaire, billionaire. And sort of the issue with that is you can just go on Google or ChatGPT and you can ask how many billionaires are there in the world. And I think it says something like, I don't know, let's say it says like 2,000. But then Google the female population and kind of compare that. So, I mean, your chance of necessarily finding someone like that is a bit more limited. So, and even if you do meet someone who has accumulated such a high amount of wealth, you need to work on yourself so that you have things to talk about. Maybe you have things in common and such like that. It can't just be a scenario of you walk into the room and you look very pretty, but you have nothing interesting to say.
Yeah,
so,
true. Honestly, this is something that I also talked like in the last video. It's like obviously like we all want to date rich man. It's like, hey, if a man can date a pretty girl, they're not gonna date the ugly one, right? So for women, it's the same. If we can date a rich one, we wouldn't date a poor one. So we all want to date a rich man. But in the end of the day, there's so many pretty girls that's out there. What makes you stand out is that like the knowledge inside of you, what's inside of your brain. So like Amanda said, like, you know, you might be like meeting and encountering like a really affluent people. And then in front of them, like if you just make like a really stupid question, like for example, you say something like, "What is Bitcoin?" Like they'll be like,
yeah.
"Okay, she's pretty, but she doesn't have a brain." So yes, they won't take you serious, I feel like.
True. I don't think you have to be the smartest person in the room, but I also think you can't be totally clueless. If you look at someone like Mark Zuckerberg, his wife is not, you know, a supermodel, but she resonated with him.
Yeah.
And if you look at a lot of different marriages you see within Hollywood or within what you would say is like global elites, their wives are not necessarily just supermodels. They have more to offer than that. A lot of them have their own businesses, or they're very educated themselves, and they're very successful in their own right. So it's always good, I think, for girls to focus on being successful ourselves in our own little ways.
Yeah, true.
And, having something to offer.
And then I just realized that you always like, you know, give me this like a useful like a data and a research. I realized that you probably when you meet somebody, you can have like whatever the other person says, you always have something to like talk about with the person, which is so important because like if they talk about crypto, you can talk about your crypto projects, and if they talk about like a random finance news article, you can also back it up because you do like you know, you might not know everything so well, so deep, but every aspect you always know like a basics so that you can actually enjoy the conversation with pretty much anybody.
Yeah, and it's always worth if you don't know something to just say, I'm not really well informed on that topic, like tell me more about it, instead of trying to pretend. I don't think anyone needs to be an expert on anything, but to have knowledge about things, be interested in things, involved in things is definitely a plus when it comes to dating.
Well, so there you go. We have the beautiful advice from my bestie Amanda. Oh, by the way, we have a matching bag. That's nothing to do with it. Yeah, we're matching with, like, this is unexpected. So we have the same Lululemon top somehow, and then we have a matching bag, super unexpected. But yeah, I guess that's why you're my bestie.
That dress is
So yeah, this is what we talk about in our random lunch on a Thursday. We talk about surrogate. We talk about how to meet billionaires and what is the possibility, and then most importantly,
and why everyone thinks they're gonna meet a billionaire.
Yeah, and most importantly, like why we need to be like smart, like educate ourselves. Like you know, we like Amanda said, we don't need to be the smartest person, but you just can't be just pretty with no brain.
Can't be empty.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe.
Stay tuned.
If you have more comments, you can leave the comments to Amanda questions, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Comment on us.